September 17, 1862. In the quiet, rolling farmlands of western Maryland, a clock was ticking down towards a kind of violence the world had never seen. A single day, just 12 hours of daylight, that would decide the fate of a nation, shatter thousands of families, and etch itself into the American soul with a record of bloodshed that still stands, unequaled, to this very hour. This is not just the story of a battle. This is the story of the deadliest day in American history. To understand the cataclysm at Antietam Creek, we must first understand the audacious gamble of one man, General Robert E. Lee. In the late summer of 1862, the Confederacy was riding a wave of momentum. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia had humiliated the Union on its own doorstep during the 7 days battles and then crushed them at Second Manassas. The Union capital, Washington, D.C., was gripped by panic. But Lee saw not a defensive opportunity, but an offensive one. He would take the war north, into Maryland. His reasons were strategic, political, and deeply psychological. A victorious campaign on Union soil could convince European powers like Britain and France to formally recognize the Confederacy. It could shatter Northern morale, perhaps even leading to the defeat of Abraham Lincoln's Republican Party in the upcoming midterm elections. And it would feed his army from rich northern farms, giving war-ravaged Virginia a respite. But this was a desperate move. Lee's army was ragged, hungry, and exhausted. Thousands of his men, lacking shoes, left bloody footprints on the roads north. They were the barefoot and the brave, betting everything on one more momentous victory. Lee divided his army, sending parts of it under General Thomas Stonewall Jackson to capture the Union garrison at Harper's Ferry. It was a bold, classic Lee maneuver, but it carried immense risk. And then, fate intervened. On September 13, in a field near Frederick, Maryland, 2 Union soldiers from the 27th Indiana Regiment made a discovery that would alter the course of the war. Wrapped around 3 cigars was a copy of Lee's top-secret operational plans, Special Orders 191. For the first time in the war, a Union commander, General George B. McClellan, knew Lee's exact dispositions and intentions. "Here is a paper with which, if I cannot whip Bobby Lee, I will be willing to go home," McClellan allegedly boasted. He now possessed what every general dreams of, the enemy's playbook. The path to destroying Lee's divided army lay clear before him. The Union commander had a chance to end the war in a single, decisive stroke. But the clock was ticking. Lee would soon learn his plans were compromised. The question was, would the famously cautious, perpetually hesitant, young Napoleon, George McClellan, move with the speed and fury this golden opportunity demanded? McClellan moved, but with his characteristic slowness, squandering precious hours. It was enough time for Lee, alerted to the danger, to begin frantically concentrating his forces around the sleepy, little town of Sharpsburg, Maryland. They took up a defensive position behind Antietam Creek, a shallow, but steep-banked stream. On paper, Lee's position was precarious, even suicidal. His back was to the Potomac River, with only a single, vulnerable ford for an escape route. He was outnumbered more than 2 to 1. But Lee understood the terrain. His line formed a shallow arc of high ground, a natural fortress of rolling hills, limestone outcroppings, and woods that offered perfect cover for his outgunned artillery and infantry. As night fell on September 16, the 2 great armies settled within sight of each other. Over 130,000 men, farmers from Ohio, shopkeepers from New York, plantation owners from Virginia, and frontiersmen from Texas, awaited the dawn. The air grew heavy, charged with the tension of the coming storm. Campfires twinkled like a mirror of the starry sky above, and the low rumble of artillery wagons and the nervous whispers of men filled the darkness. They knew what was coming. The stage was set for a drama of unimaginable scale and horror. And as the first gray light of dawn broke over the east woods, the silence was shattered by the roar of a Union cannon. Comment Part 2 below if you want us to drop it, and don't forget to subscribe for more video like this.